if you just want to write Rust and you don't care about becoming some sort of Rust guru or related to Rust or building some sort of like public identity like associated with Rust, and I think most of the things it made like 90+% of the stuff related to Rust Foundation drama is just or like associated teams. I understand Crates.io isn't Rust Foundation, so like it's just a shorthand. But then that's pretty much like it doesn't matter for you. So you shouldn't care. It shouldn't let you prevent you from like learning Rust or making something in Rust. That's they're completely unrelated for most people.
I like that. I like that. That's a good kind of initial take. I kind of try to say that because I get this whisper now constantly, which is, thank you for, I appreciate that.
I love you.
Which is, should I stop learning Rust because of this? And it's like, no, you shouldn't stop learning Rust. You just got to remember that that's the people that you're going to deal with at some level. So how far do you wish to take it? Are you building a cool CLI tool, or are you really trying to speak at conferences and like trying to like set up shop here? You got to kind of define which one you want.
Or even like you're just making your own business and it's built on Rust. I don't think you need to worry about it because there's effectively no mechanism today where they could stop you from consuming Rust and using every new feature or whatever, right? Like,
correct.
I don't think you need to be worried about like that in the sense, but if it was like, oh, what I'm going to primarily do is I want to be an open source Rust developer who publishes things on Crates. Okay, well, and like my primary income is through like sponsors. Okay, that's you may now actually be concerned. I'm not saying that you couldn't do that still, right? I'm just saying like now it becomes something that you want to consider and think about a little bit more. Yeah.
All right. I think that's good. That's why I always think like if Rust is the product, I think you got a lot of concerns. If Rust is just the language you're using, I don't think you have any concerns.
Yes. They're like with the mild caveat of if you feel like the things are getting so egregious that it's going to destroy the community, then you would be concerned. But I don't really think that it has like reached that level by any means. Like I think people are still going to write Rust.
I think people still like Rust. I honestly think that if OCaml really is as good as I think it could be, I think that will do more. Having a normal community with normal policies and normal and just like, you know, everything about I could see that doing way more damage to Rust than all their crappy decisions.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is like talking about the things that you find I don't know what you say, questionable or difficult or maybe outright bad, like the range of those things in public about the foundation or whatever. I think that those are like, that's good. I don't know. Some people are like, well, you're just trashing Rust. Well, that's only true if you're actually like not having a reasonable take or not explaining your concerns. Because if you just don't say anything, then they will just keep doing the thing that you don't like. So talking about what, at least how it feels to see some of the changes in Crates.io or what it seems, or some of the people who like, who actually know things about Rust, like Steve Kablanek, like, then I think that that's a good, like that's good for the community. It's not bad to say. You don't just like sweep it under the rug and then say, oh, well, we're not going to think about it at all. So that's fine. That's like, if you're, I think that that's good to do. It seems good to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm on that team. I'm on that team because you don't want to just like you don't want to say nothing because you're worried you're going to be perceived as a jerk or something like that. You got to be able to say things. But my always big worry is that, because this is what happened last time. I said Rust Foundation's being absurd with these things. I mean, the amount of private messages, the amount of servers I've appeared on and all that. I have a course called Rust for TypeScript Devs.
Right.
Like, the moment this stuff is passed, I genuinely feel like front-end masters will receive a cease and desist letter. Like, we will have to rename it. Just because they personally don't like me. And so that makes it into this really difficult position, which is, to what extent should I say something if I have some sort of financial incentive not to? Which is, it's just a weird place to be. I don't like it.
Especially just like, it just feels like, why? It's the other thing is it just feels like self-inflicted wounds, where from the outside at least it's very confusing why they even care that people put the Rust name on something. I don't know.
Yeah. So me and this Steve person, we actually have a lot in common. So we should probably start the official Rust drama moment. Now that we kind of got through that. I don't know. I might actually turn that into a YouTube video just because I think it's kind of good to talk about the motivations to why I talk about this, because people, I mean, like I'm not going to name any names, but we've had some people fairly high up in the Rust community call me out multiple times for being a leech and all this off of it, in which I'm just like financially incentivized to be like, hey, this is really bad. We should be careful here.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Give me back my drama. Okay, now let's do the whole Rust drama business, okay?
Okie dokie. Do you have Steve's tweet?
I do.
I think that's basically okay. Good. That's basically my take. Is exactly whatever Steve says.
Yeah, that's your take. You would just like to say right now.
I don't have whatever Steve says about it. Every time Steve has said anything about something with Rust, I'm like, yeah, that seems like pretty good. So.
All right, so let's look at this. It's called, he obviously tweets this one. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. Pretty great quote. We'll look at that in just 1 second. Let's see what he has to say first. What an absolute mess. Great follow-up. The original design of Crates.io and its policies was created by folks using their experience managing this stuff for years. This literally reintroduces the literal circumstances that caused left pad to happen. All right.
So just as like some context, there's some interesting things about crates, like that you can't delete. My understanding is you can't delete a crate, basically, like a particular version that's been released, which is good. Like, that's good. You've published it. Some other project depends on it. Yesterday it builds. Tomorrow it's going to build. That's like a win, right? There's some ways that you can, I think it's called like yanking it, where you can prevent new crates from depending on your crate, right? So you can basically say like, I'm not doing this anymore. Stop depending on my crate. But like if you have an existing project, it's allowed to. Something along those lines. I'm not a Crates expert, Crates.io expert. So, and I've never managed a package distribution, but those things seem really good, right? Where basically you can not have the scenario where someone gets angry and like deletes their thing and like half of the web goes down. You're like, maybe that's not awesome.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of yank in the sense that I'm sure there's great security things that are a positive. I'm sure there's great reasons why you'd want yank. The thing I don't like about it is that if I'm developing something for a long time, and at some point within that long duration, someone says no new projects, I'm effectively shut out of a distribution system for my said library that I've been using for a while.
No, your library would still work because your library still depends on it.
It would work, but I couldn't distribute it via Crates.io, right?
Because no, you still could.
No new ones could be used with Yoink, right? Or Yank, or whatever it's called.
So no, I think it's because your crate already depends on it. It would still continue to work. But I'm actually not 100% sure.
Okay. I thought you said any new ones wouldn't work that way. So if I created a new library, I created a library. It's been around for 2 years. I finally decide it's time to publish it to Crates.io. During that 2 years,
I see.
Something gets yanked. I all of a sudden can't distribute the thing I need to distribute. You know, I don't like those kind of designs, but whatever. I get the idea. The original.
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead. That's good.
Let's see. This policy turns Crates.io from a rock-solid resource you can rely on into something that's essentially at the whims of the Crates.io team. Guess how I feel about that as someone who's blocked by a Crates.io team member. Not great. See, like, this is my precise reason why I'm worried about the Rust Foundation stuff. It's identical, which is I am blocked by people on the in that Rust circle. I've been actively accused of many horrible things by those people, downright lies, but nonetheless actively accused. How do you think that makes me feel when someone who's running for the moderation team, which gets a vote to take down my course, has actively aggressed against me, right? Kind of, you know, it feels hard, right? Me and I agree with you, Steve. This isn't even a policy yet, and the folks involved are already laser focused on trying to take crates away from prominent community members. All right, so I think it's probably time to start jumping into this Crates.io policy update.
Yeah.
And looking at what it says.
It would be good maybe too if we could read the current policy as well. My understanding is the current policy is that the only way to get a crate taken down is basically by court order.
What?
Like literally, I don't actually know. That's what I thought I had been
Okay.
reading. I read
Whose
like a
court?
little bit of it.
Which, like,
No, like
any country?
a court that Rust Foundation like operates in, basically. So like
Okay.
it's just saying like it's basically that you can't just someone on Crates.io is not the person that gets to decide. You have to basically get like a court order from somebody.
Okay. I think I understand this better now because I know during all of this fiasco and over the course of the last 6 months, there was a bunch of really inappropriately named crates. Is that probably part of this motivation? They had some like strong racial slurs and things like that in there. So if you prevent anyone from removing stuff, you can imagine you get into this world where stuff like that exists.
Yeah, I thought maybe some of that was. I guess they also have a code of conduct that I think was like a lot more limited than maybe some of the things. So I don't actually. So that's what I'm saying. I don't remember exactly what it is. It would be good for us to maybe check out what the current policy is to do a comparison before we look at the new one.
All right, let's see if I can pull up the old.
You don't have a link? Yeah.
Well, I'm doing this whole old GitHub thing. I assume this will be the policy next to each other, right?
No, I think it's a there. I think you can just go crates.io/policies, and
Okay.
I think we can just read through a bunch of that pretty. I don't know that there's anything else besides that.
Social code of contact, privacy policy, package policies, probably this one.
Yeah, package policies is the one that I was
it's pretty short. It's pretty short. All right.
Yeah.
In general, these policies are guidelines. Problems are often contextual and exceptional circumstances sometimes require exceptional measures. We plan to continue to clarify and expand these rules over time as new circumstances arise. If your problem is not described below, consider sending us an email. Okay, awesome. Package ownership.
Nice.
We have a first come, first serve policy on crate names. Perfect. Upon publishing a package, the publisher will be made owner of the package on Crates.io. If someone wants to take over a package, the previous owner agrees. The existing maintainer can add them as an owner, and the new maintainer can remove them. If necessary, the team may reach out to inactive maintainers and help mediate the process of ownership transfer. Perfect. Okay. Using an automated tool to claim ownership of a large number of packages is not permitted. We reserve the right to block traffic or revoke ownership of any package we determine that have been claimed by an automated tool. Perfect. Removal.
Makes sense.
Many questions are specialized to instances of more general form. Under what circumstances can a package be removed from Crates.io? The short version is that packages are first come, first serve, and we won't attempt to get into policing what exactly makes a legitimate package. We will do what the law requires us to do and address flagrant violations of the Rust Code of Conduct. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's basically the one. That's basically
the law meaning like a court says you must take this down.
Right. Yeah. Or like there's a flagrant violation of Rust Code of Conduct. Also seems fair.
Yeah, it seems fair. But this is, I think, where people get into the whole like Rust changes rules or what constitutes flagrant, blah blah blah. I just assume probably ran by fairly normal people. This will be easy to just go fine with. How can I delete a crate I own from the registry? You cannot delete crates from the registry, but you can leave it open for transferring ownership to others. If you do this, you must publish a new version with a message in the README communicating to Crates.io support team that you consent to transfer the crate to the first person who asked for it. I consent this. Okay.
Nice.
Squatting. We do not have any policies to define squatting, and so you'll not. So we'll not hand over ownership of a package for that reason. Perfect. The law. For issues such as DMCA violations, trademark, and copyright infringements, Crate.io will respect the Rust Foundation's legal decision with regards to content that is hosted. So I think this is where the if you have a package that's been around for a long time called Rust-regex, you are now potentially going to get taken down by the foundation. I know this was one of the concerns in the original stuff.
Yes, my understanding is that is one of the concerns because basically they wanted to have effectively like a namespace. What they want is basically like the namespace you have in like TypeScript land, right? Where you can do like, at my company name /this. And basically but they don't have namespaces. So they just want everything with Rust in the name to mean official packages of like the Rust language, right? So I think that that's basically where people were feeling somewhat concerned. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It kind of seems funny. Why not just add some sort of namespacing? Why is that not just a solution right there? But anyways, we can keep on going. I'm sure there's technical limitations and getting someone to do it. Blah 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 blah. The Rust project has a code of conduct which governs appropriate conduct for the Rust community. In general, any content on Crates.io that violates the code of conduct may be removed. Here, content can refer to this, but not limited. Okay, so the package name. So this is where those inappropriately package named items probably just got removed, and they didn't need any sort of update. It just was easy to do.
Right.
Package metadata, easy. Documentation, code. I wonder how code works. I guess you can name things inappropriate in the code, so therefore they can take it down too. Okay,
I think also like if something was like built to do something illegal, I think possibly that could get removed from crates. I don't actually know how that works or not.
Okay. There are two important related aspects. We will not be proactively monitoring the site for these kind of violations. We will rely on the community to draw them to our attention. Perfect. Does this violate the code of conduct is a contextual question that cannot be answered directly or directly answered. There's that dyslexia coming in the hypothetical sense. All of the details must be taken into consideration in these kinds of situations. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Which is fair. I mean, like, basically, I don't know how you can't possibly list every combination of something that someone's going to do, regardless of whether you like the foundation or not or whatever. That's just, it's not like, oh, Rust Foundation wants to keep it vague. I think it's just like, it's literally not possible.
Yeah. Well, and plus, like, what is fine today may not be fine tomorrow. Just imagine all the phrases that have been openly said by everybody in the 90s or the 2000s that would now be considered fairly harsh. Thus, one can imagine why you have to have a per package name review in the current circumstance.
Or something happens, like you would say things differently, like after 9/11 versus before 9/11, right? Yes. Like because something like literally happened and people died, so you like wouldn't make, so it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, things change. You can't list out every single thing ever.
Exactly. Okay. Security. Cargo and Crates IO are projects that are governed by the Rust blah, blah, blah. I don't think this is any of this. Crawlers, before resorting to crawlers, Crates IO, please access. Please read accessing the data. Okay.
That's just how you get the data.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Look, they even use a little cargo crate request. Request. Okay. So that's the policy today. And this is the policy change as of today?
It's not official. It's a proposal.
It's a proposal.
Yes.
Let's see. Where's the? I want to view this thing raw. Give me the. Ooh, is there a rich diff? What's a rich diff? Oh, I clicked it.
Well, there's no diff because it's just a proposal. So like, there's no diff because it's just a proposal of basically like what is the new one. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so this is the new one. Okay. Cool. Let's see. The Rust community has outgrown its current Crates IO policies. Okay, so we just got done reading them. I'm curious how they outgrew them. This RFC...
That was a question also on the issue tracker that I haven't seen a great answer to, but maybe there is one. Yeah.
Okay. Weird. Anyways, this RFC proposes a new terms of use policy based on prior work by PyPy, NPM, and GitHub. Interesting. Terms of use. Okay. Why are we doing this? What cases does it support? What is the expected outcome? Crates.io has a package policies page which describes the current organically grown policies. A lot of supporters request for questionable uses of Crates.io, however, need explicit decisions from the Crates.io team, since many cases are not covered by these policies. Which cases aren't covered by those policies, by the way?
I guess we'll see below which ones they think.
Additionally, decisions made by the team may have been seen as arbitrary without written guidelines. Okay, I do like always addressing that. I think that is always good, no matter how you feel about anybody. Having as defined guidelines as possible, never a bad thing. The situation around name squatting has lately also reached unsustainable levels, and while namespaces might help with some parts of the problem, we would still need policies for name squatting namespaces then.
Well, what if you had name squatting namespace of namespaces?
Yeah, if we could just sub namespace our namespaces, boom.
But then there's like one more namespace. How many namespaces do you think we need before it just becomes that we don't actually have to worry about it? How many namespaces deep do we need to go?
all the way. We need OCaml to solve this because this ain't a for loop. Let's see. The main motivation for this RFC is to give Crates.io team a fixed set of rules to determine if a project is using crates in a reasonable way, or if the user should get a warning and the project potentially be removed. So isn't that kind of interesting? Because we don't want to remove anything, right? Couldn't that cause potential package breakage and all that? Interesting.
But for name squatting, it would be that there's nothing there. So like no one depends on the package, right? Yeah. It's just like literally it just is sitting there and someone was like, haha, I got Tokyo Dash super cool, or something like that, right? And they're not doing anything with it.
That's true, but this one didn't say that. This one's just like, here's ways that they can do that. It is mostly codifying the existing practices of the team, except for being more strict regarding name squatting. Okay. The proposal. The following is a proposed new terms of use policy for Crates.io. Okay. Terms of use. Short version. Crates.io is a critical resource for the Rust ecosystem, which hosts a variety of packages from a diverse group of users. That resource is only effective when our users are able to work together as a part of a community in good faith. While using Crates.io, you must comply with our acceptable use policies, which include some restrictions on content and conduct on Crates.io related to user safety, intellectual property, privacy, authenticity, and other limitations. In short, be excellent to each other. I'm curious, can you, I have questions on all these. Hopefully, let's just see if they address these things. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I want to talk about it, but at the same time, I understand we gotta go further.
Yeah, I think after this terms of use, we'll be able to do that, and then maybe there's a few like particular parts to pull out from like Steve's tweet as well, where he has, I think, some additional insight. Yeah.
All right, we do not allow content or activity on Crates.io that 1. Violates code of conduct of the Rust project, is unlawful, or promotes unlawful activities, incurring legal liability in the country's Rust Foundation officially operates in. Okay, good. Is libelous, defamatory, or fraudulent. Amounts to phishing or attempted phishing.
I like how you say libelous.
Libelous. You just got to keep saying it until it comes out correctly.
Anyways, continue.
I know, whatever. Infringes any proprietary right of any party, including parent or patent, trademark, trade secret, copyright, right of publicity, or other right. Okay, so that means you can't name your package Microsoft.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yep.
Unlawfully shares unauthorized product license keys. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Yep.
Contains malicious code, such as computer viruses, computer worms, rootkits, backdoors, or spyware, including content submitted for research proposals. Tools designed and documented explicitly to assist security researchers are acceptable, but exploits and malware that uses Crates.io registry as a development or delivery vector are not. That's such like a funny line to be on, because any tool designed as a researcher can also in some sense be, it's a funny thing. All right.
I get what they're saying though. They don't want to be a host for malware. Seems good.
Yeah, Rust is obviously known for its safety, so that would be probably pretty negative at this point.
It's the safest malware you've ever seen.
It will never have a memory problem.
This malware is never getting hacked.
Got him. It uses obfuscation to hide or mask functionality. That is like a super bizarre one to me. I know we're not supposed to pit stop, but can we pit stop on this one?
We can pit stop on it.
What does it mean to obfuscate?
Real talk. For some people, writing Rust obfuscates what you're trying to do.
You just look at any sufficiently complex package, and it can feel like magic when you're looking at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about that this just feels like a really odd, maybe it's more definition. I think minification or some sort of like something that runs through and changes the text.
Right. I think it's like, it secretly hides that it's going to Bitcoin mine or something like that. Right. Okay. So I think that one is also reasonable, right? Because you're going to say that you're one thing, but you're actually another. I think they would want to try and prevent that from being on Crates.
Sure.
Right. These are all the best faith interpretations of it, right? So I think that's why you would say that.
Okay. Is discriminatory toward, harasses, or abuses another individual or group? Okay. Weird. By the way, if you spend your time uploading crates to Crate.io to harass people, that's just like a strange use of your time. You got to get off 4chan and go touch the grass.
That's a you problem.
A solid you problem.
Yeah. Yes.
Threatens or entices violence toward any individual or group, especially on the basis of who they are. That's an interesting one, because again, it kind of falls under this one. I'm not sure how it's much different than this one.
Wouldn't that be illegal?
I think it would actually be just simply illegal.
I'm pretty sure if it's inciting or threatening violence, that's illegal.
Yeah. I believe assault is when you threaten violence. That's by the law U.S. assault.
Yeah.
All right. Is using Crates.io as a platform for propagating abuse on other platforms. So no shitting on NPM. Okay.
Yeah. Don't you do it? Yeah.
Don't you do it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Violates the privacy of any third party, such as posting another's personal information. Okay, beautiful.
Nice. No
Gratuitously
doxing. Seems
depicts
good.
or glorifies violence, including violent images. Ooh, interesting. I mean, I'm totally on that team, but
yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there
And then
any
someone
case...
must have done that. Seems like someone did it. You know what I mean? Someone like uploaded, I don't know, like a bunch of screenshots of something and was like, LOL, Crates.io. Like, and then, yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, how do you arrive to this conclusion? Almost behind every single rule usually exists someone that did something wrong. So that seems just crazy. Is sexually obscene or relates to sexual exploitation or abuse, including of minors. Well, I don't even think you need. Yeah, this already says that right here.
I thought the same thing when I read this first. They're like, did they really need to include including of minors? Yes, duh. Like,
well, but you already have it right here: sexual exploitation or abuse. Like it doesn't. You don't need to continue on here.
I know that one. I thought the same thing when I read that. I was like, it seems like that would be without saying, because of course that's not okay. That's never okay.
Yeah, and it's contained in here. All right, is false, inaccurate, or intentionally deceptive information and likely to adversely affect the public interest, including health, safety, election integrity, or civil participation?
I didn't read this one.
I'm not sure how that one works. Like, what could you... I'm confused by that one in the sense that, like, if you... Okay, let's just say Alex Jones making the frogs gay. Like, if you upload that, which you could argue is false information...
Like, one could argue it's true, though.
One could argue it's true, but nonetheless, it's like, how do you... How first off, how do you even find out this stuff? Like, because who's using this crate? Like, when did Crates.io become a exchange for information?
Yeah, it does seem kind of weird because, like, also my understanding is that then this would be up to the Crates.io team to have to enforce this, which seems like a really crappy situation for them. Like, I wouldn't want to have to be doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
you're gonna get at the ire of some level, because you could like imagine if someone you don't like uploads a election integrity counter, right? Are they being like, what happened if the Crates.io team doesn't like them and therefore you can't have this up, right? Like, I can see all these weird rules you get into where it's like, what is the actual intent? I don't know.
Yeah, or what if there's something about, say, like a publicly traded company that has a large, vested interest in, in Rust, right? And then now they're in this situation where they have to basically decide whether they're going to listen to Pfizer about something. I don't know, Pfizer probably doesn't have, but like Pfizer's been sued for a lot of money for various things, whatever. I'm not saying that, just like, you really want to be in that situation? That seems sucky, like to have to be the one that manages that.
Yeah, and then you're just some guy on the Crates.io team. They're like, oh, what am I doing today? Oh, I'm getting
a vaccine expert.
I guess I'll be a vaccine expert. Let me see your commentary.
They could just ask Twitter. Oh, maybe it's about semiconductors. Maybe if you published a semiconductor one, now everyone's an expert on that too, according to X.com.
Yeah, dude, that's actually really funny. See, man, that's where these things get really confusing. Is off-topic or interacts with the platform features in a way that significantly or repeatedly disrupts the experience of other users. I got it. I got this. Okay, I don't get the off-topic one.
So the one that I heard for this one is someone was posting a blog on Crates where they released a new version every time they like pushed a new thing, and then you would it basically published to docs.rs. So like you rendered your blog as like a site about Rust, and then when you pushed a new version, docs.rs would update and you could use like the inner links and everything. So it was like a way to do a static blog site with a hosting and everything.
First off, that's incredible. I don't see why anyone would be upset with that. That's actually a brilliant use of things.
But I think they don't want it there, I guess. So I think so my understanding, the connection that I've heard from that one is basically that. That's how that got pulled out. Yeah.
Okay. Exists only to reserve a name for a prolonged period of time, often called name squatting, without any genuine functionality, purpose, or significant development activity on the corresponding repository. Okay, reasonable.
So that's one of the ones, though, that people are taking. We'll see one of the link that like Steve gave, for example, about why this is really difficult to manage.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
We'll come back to it. Yeah.
No, but actually, let me go back from interesting to or reasonable to this. I haven't touched Harpoon in a long, long time. At what point does it become squatting?
Yeah.
If
well,
I don't
I
want
think
it to be
they're saying
changed.
there's nothing in there, but yeah, it also says significant development activity. I don't know if that means beforehand or like ongoing.
Yeah, because what happens if I like the thing I've created and I believe it does not deserve any more changes? What do you do then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you just plan on doing it at some point and you thought of a sweet name, so you'd like to keep the name. I don't know.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
As someone who has a perpetual graveyard of projects, I totally get that. Is
Well,
related to
you're the reason they should be able to remove crates.
Come on.
Start 80 projects. You're just taking up the whole namespace.
If they would just give me namespaces, I'd have the Primeagen, okay?
At the Primeagen, and it could just be half. It can just be half done or not. You know.
I know, it doesn't matter. Let's see, is related to buying, selling, or otherwise trading of packaged names or any other names on Crate.io for money or any other compensation. Okay,
It's
I
the
actually
new
like
crypto.
that. Yeah, it is the new crypto. Dude, there is only one Prime Stack. But I actually am completely on top. I never want to see money because that's where the squatting would get really bad.
Yes,
Impersonates
agreed.
any person
that
or
one
entity.
seems good.
Yep.
You just get permabanned.
Get out. Impersonates any person or entity, including through false associations with Crate.io by fraudulently misrepresenting your identity or your site's purpose. Okay, is related to inauthentic interactions such as fake accounts or automated inauthentic activity. Okay, is using our servers for any form of excessive automated bulk activity, to place undue burden on our servers through automated means, or to rely any form of unsolicited advertising or solicitation through our servers, such as get-rich-quick schemes. Classic. My uncle in Nigeria just died.
Yeah, just Nigerian Prince.rs, I guess. I don't know. But some of these seem fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it seems good that they're basically saying like, no, you can't push 10 billion releases every day and like expect us to build your crate that has, just a huge dependency tree, and you basically like take down crates by doing this. Yeah, you should get banned. Seems good.
I actually did it with PrimeStack. I published like 7 versions in a day, and it said I couldn't publish any more for 24 hours. I think that's probably pretty fine.
Yeah.
Is other automated excessive bulk activity and coordinated inauthentic activity such as spamming, cryptocurrency mining. I could see like a build.rs file containing a crypto miner, and then you're just uploading a bunch of versions to Crates.io. Thus, you now officially are mining crypto on Crates.io money.
Yes. Yep.
It's genius.
Definitely something you want to prevent. Seems good.
It seems genius. Is not functionally compatible with cargo build tool. For example, a package cannot simply be a ping or a JPEG image, a movie file, or a text document uploaded directly to the registry. Okay, what happens if I want to use it like Google Drive? What's the big deal? Is abusing the package
So that's
index...
what they're saying. They want to prevent people from using it as Google Drive.
It is. What happens if I want to, though? I have my own Google Drive I want to do. Is abusing the package index for purposes that is not intended.
They're saying you can't have a crate that is literally just movies.
I know. I'm saying I want that. Okay, why can't I just have my movies crate? Okay, I want my Google Drive that has versions so I can see my different versions of it. TJ.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
That sounds good.
All right. Hold on. We do have to take a quick break. I'm going to pee my pants. I got to go. I've drank too much. I'll be right back.
Again?
TJ, shut up! You are responsible for using Crates.io in compliance with all applicable laws, regulations, and all of our policies. These policies may be updated from time to time. We'll interpret our policies and resolve disputes in favor of protecting users as a whole. The Crates.io team reserves the possibility to evaluate each instance on a case-by-case basis for such issues as DMCA violations. Okay, we've already read all this. Is there anything else that is important? Because like data access, that looks the same. Package ownership pretty much looks the same. Yeah, it is pretty much the exact same. I really think that this is the added part, right?
Yeah, I think primarily it's about that section.
The terms of use, because the rest looks pretty much the same. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess there's this one. Unresolved questions. Is the wording of the name reservations clause sufficient to discourage name squatting in the future? Are there any current legitimate use cases of Crate.io that would suddenly be forbidden by these new rules? Future possibilities. PEP 4.1 also defines rules for abandoned projects and how people could continue maintenance for them. Introducing something like that would be a large deviation for Crates.io, though, and something that would need a dedicated RFC. Nevertheless, it is worth thinking about if the majority of the Rust community would prefer having such a rule set. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now with this new understanding, let's go back. Is there any further tweets that are going on here?
So I would read the directly linked comment here by Steve.
Okay, this one.
Oh, you can look at my really funny meme too. You should use it as the thumbnail. Don't you think?
It's just too small.
I give you full permission, TM.
TM, are you sure?
Yeah. Well, you put it on like one half and you're like looking at it and reading a book like in a library. You know what I mean?
All right, where is this? Where can you link me the link for this?
Did it not? I think it's that one. It's that one right there.
Where? Which one?
The comment that you were just on.
This one, this guy, or this big one?
That big one. The one right before it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, can you elaborate on a bit on why you think your reservations are fair to the rest of the Rust community? Oh, hold on. I kind of want to. All right.
Yeah, we can go back up too. It's fine.
Yeah, Carol's 10 cents says that. Okay, hold on. Let's just grab this text right here. Okay, so I kind of want to follow this little trade. There we go. So this should be.
Yep.
All right. When I reserve a crate name, it's because either I have an idea for a new crate, run cargo new, pick a name since I have to, and reserve that name because I don't want to have to deal with renaming anything later. Of course, 90% of these ideas never get to the point of shipping. B, I am working in a space, e.g. Tokyo/async, and I'm carving out a space. For async dash, there was/is a plan to release smaller crates, but for the most part that have been down prioritized. At the time, there was a race with other Crate.io users to reserve as many async dash crate names as possible, so I was mostly just embracing the incentive structure of a single flat namespace. Okay, that's actually super reasonable. Again, this is why namespaces are just incredible to have. That said,
right, and why like saying that something is just name squatting is not really like fair. As in, like you may have real reasons for reserving a name with this situation because you plan on doing something with Tokyo, and like you want to have one official crate for it and have it be the right name. Because it's like not like people can't put Tokyo in the name of their crates if it uses Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? Like they maybe should. That lets people know, but it's kind of lame that there's no way to sort of differentiate that this is like an official Tokyo package versus not.
Yeah, I could literally upload Tokyo-iStream on Twitch-TeachDV, right? Like right now. And I could just do that. That said, I believe current behavior is just what will happen with a single flat namespace. I doubt any additional rules will stop me from reserving crate names. If it is a question of putting up a repo, README, and some code, then that is what I will do. Like I said, for every name I reserve, I first generate the repo. Unless you are setting up some sort of board to determine if the first day of dev on a new project is genuine functionality. So, if it just seems like it'd be easier to either just let things be or add some sort of namespacing. I'm actually completely on board with exactly what's being said here, which is that namespacing solves a huge number of at least the squatting things.
Then there is some additional drama actually with this content that I saw, which is that ChatGPT down below is like an example of how you can just ask ChatGPT to generate a bunch of stuff for a project to make it look like a somewhat reasonable project, and they edited that, like the moderators of this edited this comment is my understanding. Like if you check the edit history, notice that it's edited by someone else that's not Carl Leche.
Wait.
Right.
Oh, Rust on the fly. Oh, wow. Yeah. Did all that. Hold on. Whoa. Wait, oh, I just jumped out. Sorry. Okay, so what do you mean the edited? Oh,
so like check the edit history of that
by
comment.
Turbo. Why was it being edited? Edit.
Because they didn't like that there was a post from ChatGPT showing how to basically get around this idea. It's I don't know. I can't say any particular. I don't know why they did. It's just my understanding that they actually did change the edits, which is kind of weird.
When did GitHub allow people, like not the person making a post, allow for editing?
I think it's been around for a while. You can like literally click on the drop down and you can see.
Can I? So that means if I own this PR and someone makes a comment, I can just edit
No,
it.
not that drop down. The little down arrow, the upside down Vercel icon.
Oh gosh, I don't even see it. Can you? Oh, this right here.
Next to edited by Turbo, the upside down Vercel one.
Oh, really? Okay, so I can actually see this one. Hold on. See, just a demo that would take minimal effort to generate these stubs. Yeah. Oh wow, you're right. Just straight up takes that out. Oh, then puts it back up. Then puts it back.
Yeah.
In.
So there is in like Steve was not. There were some people replying in the comments from in that original thread about that, which is kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah. I'm actually. I had no idea GitHub allows you to do that. It just seems really. I don't like that. Right? It's like just that feature in general seems really bizarre. Okay.
I mean, it makes sense to be able to like if people. I don't know. It's whatever. I don't super care.
You should be able to delete a comment, right? If someone says something, whatever, you can just delete it. But just to like change what they said, yeah, I'm just going to. Looks good to me. Got him.
Separate drama. You can cover it in a different video.
Separate drama. All right, Turbo. Let's see. Carl, as I've written above, I think it's reasonable to reserve a couple names for a project that are actively being worked on. To give the others some context, Carl currently has 288 crates. Whoa, doxing here. And nice. 180 of them have a description explaining that these are reserved names. Most of these crates are 4 to 6 years old at this point with no apparent development activity. Regarding name spacing, as I've written in the RFC text, this is an orthogonal topic. And there is an open RFC that I personally support implementing. You are very welcome to participate. I don't think this is an orthogonal topic at all. I do think that this would cure most of the previous stuff.
Right, because the main, I think, concern by some people is primarily about a change to giving. My understanding is like that people are concerned that now Crates.io team has unreasonable, in their view, power to be able to remove crates when they like, right? Mm-hmm. And then but a lot of people want to reserve those because they are actively working on other things. Like Carl is one of the guys who works on Tokyo. And he's not like a random, not just like a random person reserving 300 crates. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you could imagine a situation that arises where, say, one of these 4 to 6 year old crates, clearly not being worked on, obviously kind of been squatted on, if you will. Let's just say friend of Crates.io person says, hey, I really want async runtime. Async-runtime. I'm building something. Can you do something about this? And then they can go, look at this. It's not being used. You're done. Here you go. Okay, go. Right? You could imagine that you definitely create weird incentive structures.
Right. And so basically, my understanding is Carl's thing is he's saying it's not orthogonal because then I wouldn't care. You guys can go and do whatever you want. And then I wouldn't have to do it.
Okay, yeah. Actually, let's see that. Let's see what they say. Let's jump over to here. Okay, so this is where Carol's comes in. Part of the motivation for this, let's see. I'd like to understand your reasoning a bit more here. Okay. Oh, let me read the quote just to make sure we're on this. Like I said, I believe the current behavior is just what is happening with the single flat namespace. I doubt any additional rules. Yep. Okay, we remember this part. Yep. I'd like to understand your reasoning a bit more here. Part of the motivation for this RFC is the number of complaints that the Crates.io team hears from the community members when a crate they want has been claimed years ago and contains no useful functionality. These users see this as a kind of reservation, as an unfair exploitation of the community resources of a flat namespace. Can you elaborate a bit on why you think your reservations are fair to the rest of the Rust community? Okay, it feels a little aggressive there, but like when I hear this, it seems like they're saying the solution out loud repetitively.
Yeah.
Like they're even recognizing
because of the single flat namespace.
The truest problem is right here.
Yeah.
And they're just like saying it out loud. Like, yeah, since it is a flat namespace, why are you saying what your reservations are fair to the rest? Right?
Yeah. That part has been the like I said, I'm not a Crates.io expert. This has just been the confusing part for me, is it seems like maybe like implement namespaces and then come back to see how much of this RFC needs to happen, because it's really hard to put things like back in a box once they've been like let out.
Yeah, whereas there's already an RFC pushing towards non-flat namespaces. So let's just see how that shakes out and see what people have to say afterwards.
Right. Because I haven't seen anything yet of people saying where crates has outgrown the current package policy, right? Like I get that it was said, but I don't personally understand like where is that coming from? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't super get that. Yeah.
Can you elaborate a bit more on what you think your reservation? Let's see. Hold on. Can you elaborate a bit on why you think your reservations are fair to the rest of the Rust community? Again, I really think that that's like a crappy phrase to just say in general. You know, can you please
like,
tell me why your
that
shitty
Carl
behavior is good for everybody else, tough guy?
Or like, is it fair that Carl works on Tokyo? It's not fair. What?
Yeah.
That's not fair. He works on Tokyo. He's the one who's getting the loser side of the deal. Everyone else just gets Tokyo for free.
I get to do Tokyo, Maine. He sweat, blood, and tears making it possible.
Yeah. I had one line of code magically async, which I can't write. And
How do you pull a future? I don't even know. It is not a question of fairness. Correct. The current Crates.io mechanics is a classic prisoner's dilemma. It actually truly is. I mean, same with NPM, though. Either everyone plays fair and everyone has the best experience, some play fair while others go off and name squat, or those playing fair get the shaft and everyone name squats and gets a mediocre outcome. Well, there's actually a fourth one, which is everyone plays fair and people still have shitty experiences, because you have to. If I want to make something called Tokyo and Carl already made Tokyo, I cannot make Tokyo. Like, that's playing fair, and that's just the way it goes.
Right. Like you just happened to come across, you thought of the idea, some other idea all by yourself without knowing Tokyo existed, and you go to register it, and then it doesn't work.
Yeah. Personally, when someone emails me and asks for me to transfer ownership of a reserved crate name, if I have no immediate plans to use it, I say yes, e.g., I transferred Fury earlier this week. My argument is...
It's a dope name for a crate.
It is.
I would have been sad to let it go.
It sounds like, what do you think, like a good testing framework? What do you think, Fury?
I don't know, but no matter what, you can just say like it's crazy fast or something. I don't know. You just like
it's furiously fast. My argument is the solution is to change the mechanics to incentivize the behaviors we want to achieve. Exactly. The Crates.io team already has more than enough work to do. Adding additional policy enforcement work does not seem productive. Carl currently has 288 crates, and 108 of them have descriptions explaining that these crates are reserved names. Again, look at just doxing his prolific experiences out here. Okay, how about we break that down a bit, since you seem keen on making an example of me. Remember, they're making an example of probably one of the most helpful crates in all of Rust. Like, everyone uses it.
Yeah, that part's confusing.
Everybody uses it. I audited all the crates in my account. Out of the 288, I found 44 crates that are reserved new names accumulated over 6 years. Out of all the others, they are either released crates or reserved crates within the active namespace, including Tokyo, Tonic, Trace, Tracing, HTTP, Hyper, Warp, Futures, Mio, Async, Warp. First off, I recognize pretty much every last one of those things. This is like the most prolific community member of all time.
Yeah. Oh, hey, all the crates I use.
Yeah, I know all of those because I've used them all. Like, really, like, Carl is like holding up the Rust community single-handedly, and he's getting called
the
out.
dude in the XKCD comic. Like, you know, it's like Carl is the one little block, you know?
Yeah. Poor guy, they're trying to pull the one block. So I will discount those since your stance is it is okay to reserve names within an active namespace. Ooh, got him. Out of the remaining crates, here's a list. Assertive, code is here. Automation, code is here. Buffers/buffs, reserved for work in the bytes name family. Cachepad, never published, but the code lives in Crossbeam utils and copied into Tokyo. Codec, intended for the idea of Tokyo Codex, which currently lives in Tokyo util and was down prioritized. Core.io, StudNet, NetX. I revisit the idea of having a crate that batch utility/code that I tend to write/depend on a lot. A kitchen sink standard. I have code for this set to private on my GitHub.
That's actually a kitchen sink STD, Prime.
Oh, it's a kitchen sink STD. Classic one. Stay away from that kitchen sink.
That's why those crates haven't been published.
Fury, a web framework that prioritizes maximum perf over good ergonomics. Ooh, I have a sketch in my GitHub private, but since decided that it was a bad idea. I handed this a crate earlier this week. Gen, another name for CoGen, which actually is shipped. Godzilla/Zilla. I don't actually remember what this was for. Introspect, reserving for extracting tracing core record APIs. This ended up being valuable. I assume, is that the name?
I think so. I think that's a different crate, yeah.
Okay, Janitor, Seb, Sebastian, Ship It, Wizard. Over the years, I keep revisiting the idea of better automation for releasing batches of crates. Instead, I end up collapsing Tokyo into a single crate. I have private code in my GitHub for this. Kabuki, a light actor framework built on Tokyo. I have code in a private repo. Machines, an alt name for automation. Mini format, a lighter version of Rust format for generated code, but D. Tolnay did it better. There you go. This one right here. Mute cell/mute cell, a cell wrapper that enables pushing into a vector with self. Pair, I don't remember what this was for. Pull weepull, extracting the Windows pull impl from Mio. Okay, nice. Reconnect, a library to wrap a socket to automatically reconnect. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, that's great stuff. I would love it if the billion-dollar company Slack could just have their sockets reconnect. Maybe they could consider reconnect. Shed.
They're probably prevented to because he has the crate name.
I know,
that's the only thing that's been stopping them.
It's just, if only they had a namespace. Shed. Extract Tokyo's multi-threaded scheduler to a more generic thread pool. Never did it. Response. This was intended to work with HTTP namespace. Solaire. A mini in-process database. Come on, just let me call it Solaire. I have some code, but never got it working. Sin Selector.
This is the highlight of the video as you're reading. There's not even that much drama, but I do like hearing you have to read this many words in one video.
It's so hard. You should hear me read to my kids. Oh, you have. You know it exists.
I literally have. Fortunately, they don't know. They can't read, so they don't know what the actual words are.
A CSS. I know we're still very confused about the book of or the Wheel of Time. The amount of things I've made up is just ridiculous. A CSS-like selector API to select SYN nodes. Thread Park, extract Tokyo's thread parking logic. Never done. Toasty, actively in progress. Okay, so in other words, blah blah. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
You're gonna read 40 of the 44.
I'm quitting right now. I'm quitting.
Finish the job.
I'm just gonna do the last one. A web app. Ended up calling it Tower Web for now, but I had thought to rename Tower Web to Web App if it became successful. Weir's Wires. Don't remember this. You may ask, why don't I default to working in public? Because when I do, I get curious users trying to use the code, contribute, submit bugs way before I'm ready for it. Exactly. I mean, I might abandon the project. I also have experienced others trying to beat me to the punch and release an alternative before I finish what I'm working on. Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. You already have it named. You have a cool name. You already do all this, and boom, people are just jumping in, trying to beat you to the punch for it. Ugh. Right. Also, as far as I know, Crates.io does not have a mechanism that I can use to quickly release a crate. If there was, I would probably release a bunch of these. I also probably would release all the future crates because I don't work, that namespace anymore.
I think he's saying, like, get rid of he doesn't need a bunch of these crates related to Futures Dash because the plan is no longer to split it into a bunch of crates.
Okay. Again, pretty much all of this becomes moot with some sort of crate namespacing. I am completely on board with all of this. Apparently I can't like or thumbs up those things, but
you're banned.
I'm banned. What do you think about all this? Is there discussion that we're missing about this?
So there's let me see if I can find the other one. You might want to say something. Something just happened in chat. I don't know.
Yeah, no, something did happen in chat.
It's with the beautiful voice, man. I normally wouldn't say anything, but
hello, my name is the Primogen. Now you're probably wondering, how did I get this beautiful mellifluous voice? Well, actually, I went through a second puberty, is what the doctor says. And it turns out that when you turn old, like you actually get a beautiful voice. It's one of the benefits. Now, I'm still waiting on my second puberty because
this is actually how I sound. I sound kind of a little higher than normal, but I have a voice
real
modulator.
Voice reveal.
A real voice reveal right here, but I
just tune it down so I feel better about myself. You know what I mean? By the way, Thor, thank you very much for the if for those that don't know, Thor's dad, legend, Thor, legend.
Odin?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I didn't know it was his dad was Odin. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's literally a legend.
He is literally a legend. You should know this by
Yeah.
now. Thank
Yeah,
you
that
very
makes
much for the
sense.
raid. Appreciate that. We're in the middle of going over some Rust drama. Unfortunately, things have happened. We're going to keep on going, but it just appears,
Yeah,
from what I can tell... Oh, you linked some good stuff?
Yeah, I linked one in.
Okay.
This one is one of the ones where like there's secondary drama that it just feels like every time something happens, things spiral out of control.
I can't read it because I've been blocked.
Oh, nice. Even better. Here. I'll share my screen. I'll switch to. You can see it from me then. Here you go.
Okay, everyone's laughing at me. Like I said, why do you think I worry a little bit about...
Here. You can just read it from my video.
Okay, hold on. I'm
I
making
just
it big.
love, that's so funny, dude.
Can you make it really big?
Yeah.
Okay, bigger.
So, I'll read it since it's on my screen.
Yeah. Make it
Which
real
I can't
big.
read it anyways because I think Discord's making it about 12 pixels.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah. Zoom in and don't move.
Okay. Yeah. Concept behind. See, I'm doing. Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Thank you.
The concept behind Crates.io squatting RFC may or may not be but doing things like this strongly suggests that the actual implementation, which is more important, is untrustworthy. Anyone who feels free to edit someone else's words, for example, in a discussion of a feature, is someone who I expect will abuse the power they have in other ways. Which is for about 4 hours, one of his comments was redacted by the RFC author. They cited actively encouraging creating spam projects, but the text just mentioned it would be easy to bypass squatting rules and provided a chat GPT example. By the way, this, if we go down to profile, is my Twitter. In case anyone was wondering.
Luckily, no one could actually see this. How to Lose Friends and Disinterest People. The only book you need to free yourself of success. The Rust Foundation.
Updated for the last generation of leaders.
The memes are very good on this. All right.
Okay, I'll go back to just being a video.
Okay, yeah, just go back to being just a video. I'm going to make you small again. Hold on. I need you to feel small.
Why isn't the Primogen blocked by TGV? How would I self-promote, chat? Think about it.
Yeah. How would he...
Think about it. Hello.
Come on. 200
Hello,
IQ
chat.
people. I know, chat's never been reliable on things. I'll open this up just for everybody to see this. So what I see here is like, I totally
Blocked?
agree. You should have, dude, imagine if you would have blocked me.
If only I was quicker, I would have had you. Dang it.
I'm just blocked. But I think that this is a really good call out by whoever blocked me. I didn't even read the name. But which is like the person with whom is going to be given authority is also the person redacting comments within a GitHub issue, stating valid concerns and valid things. I think there's a lot to be said right there, which is how can you possibly trust the system? That's why the system needs to be a little bit more foolproof.
Yeah. And or the system needs to have like incentives that make it so there isn't conflict. Right? So like namespacing is an example of a really solid way to completely prevent a lot of the conflict that people feel for things like reserved crates or crate names. Like I'm totally down for them to be like, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we don't want to host on crates, and if you do this, you should just get tossed off crates. Or even, I don't even care, permaban. Sounds good. Like I don't care, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to do anything stupid like try and host full-length copyrighted videos on crates. Yeah. Just permaban them. That sounds good. But like if instead the problem is like, oh, so and so reserved a bunch of crates and they're like squatting on it, or people are like making Microsoft adjacent named crates and Microsoft wants to like take those over or something. Well, okay, then just make it so that can't happen, and then there's no conflict at all, and I don't even have to trust the moderators because no one's ever going to be angry.
Exactly. And it'd be pretty easy. Like for me, obviously they introduced namespaces. I could reserve my name. If I didn't get to reserve my name, I think it'd be pretty easy to prove that I should get that namespace, as I think a lot of people that do anything bigger, like Tokyo Guy, if someone just jumped on Tokyo, right? It'd be pretty easy to be like, I think I deserve Tokyo. You should just give me Tokyo, right? And then it'd resolve most issues. And even namespace squatting would be pretty easy to resolve with any bigger names because they'd be instantaneously understood that it's not the same, right?
Yeah. I think the thing people are like worried about is some of the like parts that are a little bit more vague, right? In that now, like before, it felt like the only way to get your crate removed was effectively like a court order or a blatantly flagrant against Rust code of conduct, which is like, that's for me, that's what I would rather see. And like Rust code of conduct is not like it's just don't do anything illegal. There's lots of stuff in Rust code of conduct to protect people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure Rust code of conduct doesn't let people upload sexually explicit images of children. Like, yes, duh. So like but that's listed. So it's sort of weird because you're like, yeah, you're listing things again where it's confusing. Yeah. That should be, those people should get reported to the government and they should go have very bad things happen to them, not just kicked off Crates.io.
Yeah,
you know what
those
I mean?
People
like,
should go straight to jail.
Yeah. So that's the part where I feel like there's some second like order things where people feel like, well, what the heck? Like that it just seems like you're adding a bunch of work to Crates.io team to police things that like is better left either to literally like a court or to the Rust Foundation itself to basically say you ask Rust Foundation, does this violate the code of conduct? And they say yes or no. And if they say yes, then they say get off Crates. And if they say no, then they don't. And the Crates.io team doesn't have to moderate it, right? Doesn't that not just seem like an easier situation for everybody?
Yeah, not only that, but you could also anonymize some of that information, meaning that the Rust Foundation team could just look at it through an anonymous lens. So you just include only the package name, right? You can even drop the namespace, so no bias judgment can happen in there, or the code in question, or the misnaming, or the obfuscation. All those things could all be done in such a way that it makes people feel that it's a fair process.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know.
I really appreciate this. Thanks for calling this out. It is so odd that somehow every single time Rust has some of the most drama out of any language I've been a part of. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I haven't really, I guess, been too deep into OCaml. I mean, TypeScript's drama is completely different. TypeScript's drama is like, my web framework is better than your web framework. You don't know web framework.
But like the language drama doesn't happen because it's just like Microsoft just basically owns it, right? They still own it? I don't even know. So they just get to be like, yeah, it's Microsoft. Yeah. You're like, okay, well, they're gonna do what they want. That does solve some things. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, unfortunate that somehow namespaces aren't an obvious win here. And the people still are questioning why namespaces are brought up. It seems just like a strange universe we live in, not to see that as an immediate benefit right off the rip. But hey, I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate talking about the Rust stuff. I hope that next month can go by without a Rust drama. August is a great month to go touch grass.
True.
If it's still alive, you should definitely go touch it. It's pretty much great in all areas of the earth. So it's pretty universal.
Some places, actually, August is winter time.
Oh, yeah, huh? There's like that whole Southern Hemisphere thing.
Classic American-only thinker. I'm leaving. Get me out of this stream.
That's it. You better go host a conference in China.
I'm leaving.
He didn't. Oh, he did leave. He left me. That's my screen. Hey, look, it's my... Oh, TJ, stop leaving me.
Am I actually leaving? Or I would
get out of here. I appreciate you, though. All right, bye.
See ya.
All right. Hey, guess what? You forgot Brazil. Damn it, Brazil. I knew that. The name is there's only the United States of America, Jen.